My last 5 minute or so clip on this one, so I think we'll just walk it, fellas, and walk it this way, and when it runs out, that's the end of day 3 of because my partner booked another day. Thought it was quite interesting here, you know, when she got the reaction from the screenshot images in the shop. She thought, wow, I didn't expect to get this sort of response from a photograph, you know. You know, are my partner's photographs really that amazing? And I say, no, it's the plant. Take a decent photograph of an amazing plant, you'll do wonders. I mean, that was the whole point, you know. That was the trouble, you know, with WA, you know. We were living in the 70s, you didn't have the mobile phones, you couldn't take a decent shot. You know, almost have to have your own dark room to come out with a decent, you know. I don't know how some of those divers on the Batavia produced some of the images they did. They were really expensive cameras, I know, Richard, yes. They do it all day long, and they do it for a living, yeah, I know. And they get to use all the big boys' toys. Well, that's the way it was in the old days, wasn't it? It's the only way you could do things. But so that's why I spent a whole page having a diagram done by John Mignano from a photograph, which I spent a lot of time getting a decent shot, you know, with the average general look of a glid sort of thing, you know. So he's taken that drawing from an actual series of work I did years earlier. So, you know, I think it was the year before, or early on in the year. So, you know, going back to 88 or something, you know. It could be 87, I'll have to look it up. You know, it's on negatives, they're all date stamped, you know, you have the things on your slides and everything else. They're all date stamped. So people say, why didn't you do this sooner or something? I was doing it sooner. That's the whole irony. You're asking me things that I have actually done. Yeah. You're asking me expectations that I did try to do and have done, I can show evidence of, you know. That's what's so. Well, it definitely looks like I would call that I think that is a Hugeli. What do you think, fellas? I mean, if I could learn how to photograph these things. I don't know, fellas. Just one big heathy open wasteland sort of thing at the moment after a bushfire. You think you'd see nice little clumps of Cephalotus coming back, you know. Or is it a bit like the Banata? You know, the coal fern is the companion plant. You know, if you find the coal fern, you have a good chance of finding Banata. But if you find Banata, you definitely find the coal fern. Is that what it is? I don't know. So we have to actually find a companion plant to give us a highly likely tendency. Do you remember that little thing that used to grow up in pots to Cephalotus from the 70s? I wonder if that's the companion plant, you know. You go back to, I think you can see it in some of the black and white photographs of Adrian Slack 1. Slack 1? In some of the Cephalotus shots, you see that thing there? So I reckon he must have got his in a lump of soil from down under sort of thing, sent to him in the post. Yeah, naughty. So, yeah, so look for that. Maybe that's the companion plant equivalent to the coral fern for banana. So, you know, if you find that, you're hardly likely to find Cephalotus. If you find Cephalotus, you always find that little companion plant. Yeah, again, it's a bit like, you know, all enzymes are proteins, but not all proteins are enzymes, I think, in that sort of thing, you know. Yeah, all the prime numbers exist on 6x plus and minus 1, but not all numbers on 6x and plus and minus 1 are actually prime. Yeah. I'm sorry, did I rush you through a lot of book learning there, did I? Sorry about that, fellas. I have the tendency to do things like that. Well, what do they say? Was it Mozart's with violin sonatas or something? He goes from one to the other, it's like 20 years has gone by, and it's only been a few years, and it's like, where did that come from? Yeah, I reckon he went back to his childhood, because that was his first instrument, don't forget. went back to his childhood, and that's how he jumped 20 years. He went back 20 years to go forward 20 years, you know. Get it? You can't go forward 20 years just like that. You have to have some way of, you know, go back and then reverse everything and you go forward 20 years. I don't know. Do you get it? I don't know. Well, this is really, really dark grey. Almost silvery black, I would say. Anyway, not a skerrick of sign of Cephalotus. Not even a single picture. A bit of a clump. Oh, it's getting wetter though. Getting wetter, fellas. Getting wetter. But remember, it got wetter down that way. Now it's getting wetter this way. So maybe I'll have to get onto my second card if I get the sniff of it. If I see that plant, I'll definitely keep going. Oh, it's getting wetter, yeah. You never know. So what do you think? It comes off the... It's in a diagonal. Everyone...